How many of us out there really and truly can say that there are good people, but they're fucked up? And when I say that, you can say that about a particular individual, such as a friend, a lover, or a family member. Yeah. Now, in my case, I had a family member. Yeah. Good family member. Loved to death. But I always have a tendency to slip in little shit that can tear you the fuck down and make you really feel like you ain't shit. But you gotta be strong enough to hear it and ignore it, but yet analyze it and use it to a point where you can strategize yourself every time you come around that individual how to deal with that form of adversity in an indirect way. Because if you allow your emotions to overcome what this shit comes out these people's mouth or this person's mouth about how they try to tear you down, it's going to be a form of atrocities, if you will. But you don't, you deal with it, you strategize and angle, and every time you come around this individual, you know this motherfucker gonna say some fucked up shit out his or her fucking mouth, and you gotta have on your thinking cap right and be able to manipulate your way through things that comes out your mouth and keep it to a point where that individual can't tear it the fuck down because they envy you or they jealous of you, which is the same to me. And to remove any form of doubt in your mind, you have to have that when you come around a family member, friend, or a lover. And that's deep. And that's fucked up that a person has to do that when you go around family members or loved ones, period, or just in general. And you can say that about this particular individual to another good person, say, yeah, that's a good person, but they fucked up. And then they ask you, well, how can you say that that's your family member? Very simple, because everything that I try to do or you try to do to achieve something, somehow the negative always comes out this motherfucker's mouth. And the problem is the motherfucker can't explain why something won't work or why it ain't going to work, or all the negative things that he or she has to say out their motherfucking mouth. They can't explain why it won't do what it is that they're trying to tear it down and say that it won't do. It's that fucking deep. And at the end of the day, they still become a good person. They're a good dude or a good girl or just whatever. But it's fucked up that you have to actually come through that and deal with that when you living in the household and you grow up with that type of mentality and you implement that on one of your siblings that is younger than you, that looks up to you, but yet at the same time you are kind of distorted by the fact that the sibling that's trying to look up to you, you didn't want to really exist because you're jealous or you envy the fact that you're no longer the baby or the one. Yeah, it's deep. And all rationality goes out the window when these two become in the presence of one another as they become adults. And the way that I handle shit like that, y'all, is very motherfucking simple. I have a lot of rules that's written on my wall, my 10 commandments, if you will, not to blaspheme God and say anything different. But when I say I got my 10 commandments, there's several of them that I'm going to give to you. If one betrays your secret, they ain't your fucking friend. I don't give a fuck what you say or what they say or how you feel or how long you been knowing these motherfuckers. If they betray your secret, I ain't talking about, oh, he put the thing over there. No, I'm talking about, look, man, I did some real crazy shit, man, up at the bank and blah, blah, and your friend turns and tells on you he was and ain't your friend, period. Let your success be your fucking vengeance, and that's how I live. Because that person that took me through all that bullshit by trying to pull me down, my family member trying to pull me down by saying everything that everyone is saying, man, that's a good idea, Maxine, but somewhere in the background is this loudmouth Joe Rockhead family member's got something fucked up to say out the motherfucking mouth about it ain't gonna work. Why? Well, it just ain't because it don't sound right. And the fucked up thing about it is, when motherfuckers are like that in your presence that's not intelligent enough to know the difference between my success is going to be my vengeance on beating your ass, slamming you, smashing you, and killing you and letting you live by watching all the good things that's going to come to me by my success of the things that you said that I won't be able to succeed doing. And that's how you handle those kind of people, y'all. Don't argue with them. Don't get to trying to put their business out because they made you to the point where now you gotta say some shit like that. Take that same energy and turn it into a positive and do the most heroic thing that you think that you can accomplish, whether you black or white. Yeah. So that's what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm just keeping all my stories as real and a lot of it's fucking humor. And for some fucking reason, this particular fucking individual in my family feels that that's not gonna work, that ain't gonna be that, and that's not gonna be that, and that won't do that, right? And if I let that motherfucker continue to tell me that and beat that in my head, and I'm at 40 plus years old, then I will probably be just like the motherfucker that runs up on your car in the downtown area and asks you for 50 cents and then cleans your window, and when you tell him you don't have any money, he'll still clean your window and ask you for that motherfucking Big Mac you got sitting on the seat because you just left McDonald's and shit right here on High Street. So no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be that motherfucker sitting on either Oprah, Dr. Phil, or whatever fucking TV show it is, and I'm gonna be explaining how I came through adversity through family member that felt that everything that I'm trying to achieve to see if I can succeed at it or not is telling me don't do it because you can't do it. It ain't gonna work. And the reason why it ain't gonna work is I don't know why, because I'm too ignorant enough to tell you why what your ideals is not gonna work. But I just want you to know that I don't want to see you go nowhere. I don't want to see you succeed because I ain't successful, because I ain't shit as an individual. Yeah, I'm Maxine Alexander. I hope that kind of let people know that y'all ain't the only one in the world that actually had that amongst you in your presence. There's millions of people that understands that story. And as ugly and gruesome as it is, it's kind of funny because guess what? That same family member told me, I ain't gonna get on no laptop and do what the fuck you say you gonna do. You ain't gonna do that shit. You don't know how to do that shit. You gotta go to school. You gotta do this. You gotta know how to do this. You gotta know these people, that people. Well, in a sense, I guess he's right, because my boy that works at Best Buy, he helped me get this motherfucker. So in a sense, he kind of had a point, but all the other shit was bullshit. And here I am, and here you go, family member. Can you see me? Good. Have a good night and sleep well.